For those living with children and parents who might need some assistance, financial pressures could very likely come from both generations sometime in the future. And that's where the term sandwich generation comes from.
So planning now can actually help lower your chances for a stressful financial situation down the road. We have Andy Mattingly from Forum Credit Union here to talk about the steps to lessen all that pressure. You can sometimes think that you can plan for these things, but really what makes this all so stressful for people?
Well, the number one thing is lack of knowledge. You really don't know where your parents, what their situation is, what their health situation is, or what their finances are, because we probably really never had a grown-up discussion with them about their finances.
So how do you talk to them about it without being nosy or annoying or getting yelled at by your parents?
Right. Well, that's one of the things. You try to develop a partnership with them, and the first, the difficult one is to talk to them about their finances. Do they really have enough money to last their lifetime? And also, do they have the insurance to cover their financial situations that could come up, or medical situations, and then ask them about their medical condition. Sometimes your parents don't want to tell you what's going on with them.
That seems like a difficult discussion to have.
Yes.
What are some of the other more difficult discussions that you need to be having with your parents?
Well, the other ones are estate planning and end of life. What are those things that they want to have to do? And most people don't like to talk about that. Even people that get into their 70s, they like to put that off and say, well, I've still got 10 or 15 years. But you really need to know that, or otherwise you can't fulfill their final wishes, or maybe you don't financially can't do it.
So what do we do once we're done with the parents? How do we get our kids involved?
Well, start with the kids with a couple of really important things. One is model financial behavior yourself that you want them to do, and also involve them in taking care of the grandparents. Simple things like having them be part of their transportation responsibility can really help you and helps teach them financial things that they need to do, and caring for the older generation.
What are the situations that you should be discussing with your kids then, so maybe that they won't be put into this similar situation down the road, right?
The first one is give them a heads up way before they start looking at colleges, what your financial commitment to college is going to be, so they pick the right college and it doesn't put stress on both of you. The second thing is when they start a job, don't leave it up to the company to tell them the things that they should do, like insurance and 401k. Help them get started, because if you can do that right away, they won't have any of those little bumps early on, and that helps you then not have to help them.
And lastly, this can obviously be a stressful situation, but the person who's being sandwiched can really get into some trouble here, right?
Yes, because what happens is they're worried about their parents and their kids, and they don't take care of themselves. They're spending their money helping them, and they don't take care of their financial situation, which then all of a sudden they turn 65 and they have a problem.
As usual, it seems like a lot of information. What are the top 3 things that someone watching right now who's in the middle of the sandwich, what should they do?
First, find a resource that understands multi-generational family planning, so helping both sides. 2, make it a partnership with your kids and your parents. And then 3, don't forget about taking care of yourself.
All right. Great advice.
Get the guts up to go have that talk
Talk
with them in the
your
first
parents,
place, right?
exactly.
Where can people find you, Andy?
forumcu.com.
All right, let's take one more look with Lindsay outside. We see a lot of green moving behind you.